And we're live. Hi, welcome. Let's do our start off. Here we go.
Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talent to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Hello, hello. I'm excited. Are you excited, Timothy?
Super excited.
This is going to be so much fun. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Tuesday marketing broadcast. We are all about sharing our knowledge and helping everybody elevate their marketing together. So hello to all of our partners out there. Timothy, who do we have out there?
Oh, we have all sorts of people listening in, watching in, marketing, communication, media professionals, nonprofits who want to partner with organizations that are trying to do some good in the world. We have other businesses that want to collaborate together with those nonprofits and also our marketing professionals in the space. And so we have a good tribe, a good group of people listening and saying, hey, I want to learn more about partnering with other associates, but also other entities that are maybe from a different place or space, and it might benefit both of us if we were able to collaborate. And that's one of our core values here at the Giver Marketing Network is collaboration. So Christine, I've been really looking forward to this. We've been kind of working on this over the past several weeks in one way, shape, or form. We've been having conversations behind the scenes that are super interesting around creative giving. And at the time of this recording, there's always an anticipation of giving and generosity during certain times of the year. And so really, really appreciate you putting this together. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, with the name like Giver Marketing, I mean, that kind of tells you everything about the heart of our marketers and how we love to really give back and how we love to work with organizations that are giving back. So it just makes sense for us to hit a topic like, how do you partner with nonprofits? I mean, that's just kind of a fantastic topic in general, but especially for our tribe. So I know a lot of our professionals that we work with have worked with nonprofits, right? This is kind of a space and a playground that we play with often. So I'm really looking forward to diving in on this. I think this is something that a lot of businesses, I think they have a big heart. I think a lot of businesses want to partner. I think they're not always sure how to partner if they haven't done it before. Right. And a lot of times we look at organizations that have a mission, right? And we want to shine light on that. So this is a great way if you've been thinking about doing it, if you wasn't sure, where to start with that. This is really going to be a broadcast that you want to pay attention to, because I think it'll give you some ideas on where to get started with that.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, let's get some visuals going and have a conversation about it. I know for me personally, I've been in the nonprofit space for 30 years. Also bought, built, sold some businesses along the way. And growing the Giver Marketing Network has been a privilege to be able to kind of marry the two and bring that together. Generosity, goodwill, giver type marketing and communications and media is a sweet spot for certain people. It's almost like they're wired or born or built to do that. And Christine, you're one of those people. There's several others within our network that they wake up in the morning thinking about how they can do some good in the world, pay it forward. Socially conscious capitalism is a big term that's been thrown around for decades now. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, is how to really put that to another level or into another gear.
Absolutely. For me, my background, I also serve on the board of directors for some nonprofits, right? So that being able to give back is so important. And so why I'm in love with this topic, right? Let's take a look at marketing for a mission, right? How businesses can partner with nonprofits for mutual benefit, because as we know, we have a lot of options on how we want to do our marketing. So why not do it with a heart and partner with an organization is one great way to do that.
Yep.
Right. So let's take a look at the benefits of partnering with nonprofits, some effective marketing strategies for collaboration, and then a few tips for successful nonprofit partnerships. All right, Timothy, I expect you to interrupt and give your insights all throughout.
Yep.
Because I know this is something that's dear to your heart too. So let's talk about the benefits of partnering with nonprofits. Now, there's a lot of different ways and reasons why you might want to partner, right? Enhancing your brand reputation through social responsibility. Well, that's a mouthful, right? But right, when you think about your brand, right? If you align it with a nonprofit that's doing good in the world, and that feels like something that resonates with your brand, we're expecting social responsibility now from our organizations, right? It used to be just make money, right?
Nonprofits are in the business of bringing really good products or services or efforts into the world in a creative way. And if they're doing a good service or they're delivering something of benefit to the community in any way, shape, or form, a business that's doing anything related to that community or that space, or could benefit from really engaging that audience and supporting and encouraging and strengthening the nonprofit, it showcases that brand as a business is not a taker. They're a giver. And nobody likes to be ripped off by a company or a nonprofit for that matter, as you're participating with them. So as long as you're partnering with a trustworthy, reputable organization, the dual effect, the synergy that can happen of enhancing both the nonprofit and the for-profit entity, it's almost immediate. You can do cross promotions. You can there's all different ideas we'll get into later, but you can leverage that goodwill brand and really take it to that next level. One of the things that I found interesting is to think through ways of giving outside of just writing a large check. The large check or the wiring funds or donating funds is a easy way to contribute, and sometimes it's the best way. There are also other ways to contribute. I like to think of it in terms of the 5 T's. And it's not a perfect, complete way of looking at things, but it's easy to remember. And so I think of 5 T's: time, talent, treasure, which is your money, And those are the most common that we think of: time, talent, treasure, right? Some call them the trifecta of generosity, right? But there's also two other ones that we might want to dig into for a few minutes later. And that's, what if you can help a nonprofit or another entity with their technology? There's another T right there, where you're not necessarily just giving time and your talent, but you're bringing in technology. And so it actually enhances, I mean, just the ability to be able to leverage AI, or leverage blockchain technology, or leverage just good old.
Like you said, the association helps build the brand on both sides, right?
Yep.
I know here in Texas where I live, the veteran community is very strong. And so a lot of times we'll partner with veteran organizations, with businesses, because they want to be known for partnering and helping veterans, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can use that relationship back and forth to help each other.
Yep.
We talk about accessing new audiences and markets, right? So when you can, part of partnerships is leveraging each other's audiences, right? A lot of times the nonprofits will build a strong following. I remember during the world shutdown for a while there, there was opportunities for fundraising. A lot of the nonprofits are really struggling, right? But they had a strong audience. So when they partnered with other businesses to do, I saw them do live telethons, things like that you hadn't seen in ages, right?
Yep.
So
I saw a bunch of real estate agents over the last decade or so contribute a percentage of their profits, or the transaction, a percentage of the transaction, to a particular nonprofit. And it created a win-win for sure, by both the nonprofit they partnered with, and then also their own business getting that kind of extra attention.
Yeah, so puts you in front of new audiences, and businesses and nonprofits alike benefit from that, right? The nonprofits are always looking for more people to help support their cause. So when they get in front of the business audience, right, they love that. And the other side of that, right, the business gets to get in front of the nonprofit audience. So it's a nice synergy. So, as we all know, partnerships really are about, do they benefit both parties? Right? Everybody involved. That's the whole goal. And there really is an opportunity with that when you're sharing audiences.
Double and triple wins. That's what we always want to look for. Yep.
Yeah, part of that is going to be generating the publicity, media coverage, right? So storytelling, right? That's a big part of marketing, especially nowadays when we're using video so much, right?
Yeah.
So whenever a business partners with a nonprofit and gets to lend their credibility for that cause, and vice versa, right? You're really getting a chance to tell stories about people, right?
There's a hesitation by some people, Christine, to share too much about their generosity, because it feels inappropriate for some reason for some people. And especially if they're a particular personality type where they don't like a lot of attention on themselves, or they were taught from an early age in business or in life that you don't tell anybody when you give anything to anybody, you don't say anything. And although I do appreciate the classiness and the integrous components of that, just because somebody might be a little bit more shy, or not as interested in a lot of attention from a particular gift, like a large check, or wiring a large amount of funds, or donating a large piece of real estate or something like this, I can see that being a case-by-case basis. But in general, if you can showcase, without maybe even telling exactly what you gave, just showcase the nonprofit. As a business owner, I'm speaking to you, showcase the nonprofit and say, we partner, we believe in what this nonprofit is doing, we support them. We love partnering with this event that they just put on. We like to sponsor them. We like to volunteer and help them in these specific events, or we feel like we're part of their team. This kind of language can be extremely powerful without telling people a dollar amount or a specific type of gift that you gave. And to some degree, that's almost a better way to get started, just kind of get moving, is not give all the the details and the dollar amounts, but just let people know that we believe in this nonprofit. And if you as a business owner think it's all about you at that point, then we're talking to the wrong people. Like that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about highlighting the nonprofit with 80-90% of the attention, and then you just get the trickle over blessing. Like it just comes back to you because you happen to be in the video. It's not, the video is not about you. The blog is not about you necessarily. It's about how you believe in this particular organization. So as long as you make it about them primarily, then just that organic like goodwill is just going to come overflowing on you. Be careful not to go too extreme one way or another, where you're talking all about yourself or you're talking just about them and they have no idea who's talking on the camera. Like you need to be able to add your credibility to their work as well. So be classy about it. Spend most of the attention and energy on propping up other people or other organizations. And this goes for power partnerships in business too, like just business to business. But specifically with nonprofits, you want to be super classy about it and not get hyper focused on self, me, I. If you start hearing yourself saying those phrases in a video over and over again, A, just edit them out because that's just self-focused. B, try to think through what the audience wants to know about the nonprofit or the organization you're partnering with, because that's really what's going to give you the most credibility anyway.
Absolutely. And I found in my leadership roles in nonprofits that a lot of times when businesses are coming to the nonprofit for a partnership, a lot of what they're looking for is that publicity and media coverage side. A lot of it is like you said, there's some that are shy and like, hey, I don't really want to make a big deal about it. I'm just giving because I want to give. But a lot of the businesses are looking for that extra boost in visibility.
Yeah.
So if you're a nonprofit and you haven't really figured out your strategy yet for partnering with those businesses, keep that in mind. What kind of publicity, what kind of partnerships can you do with them? What can you do to help increase their visibility as they're increasing yours? Right.
Yeah, we're putting on an event with the city that I live in. And I've been asked to start a nonprofit around the businesses of our city. And we're having an event here with probably 1,000 people going to show up. And in the summer, there'll be 2,000 or 3,000 people show up for a similar event. And the businesses are just coming out of the woodwork to say, look, we want to partner with this nonprofit, this event, because there's a lot of eyeballs on what's going on. And we want to be associated with trustworthy, positive impact events and organizations. And they're people I haven't even met in our city. They're just coming and saying, hey, we want to be a part of this. So if you can find some kind of special sauce there where you can collaborate and create a fusion of awesomeness, then that's where it's at. That's where it's at. And it takes a little time to get it going. But if you do a little bit every year and kind of build that into your strategy, maybe 5-10% of your time, talent, treasure, technology, and maybe some of your things that you have laying around that you can donate. We just donated a computer recently. So there's just different ways to help partner and give them some attention when they do that. They're trying to help. Come on, nonprofits, you can do it. We can help you do that. Yeah. Good call, Christine.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll find that sometimes businesses are so socially conscious that they'll actually create a nonprofit to work in partnership with. I know when I was talking with over at Veterans United, right, that they've got their business side and then they've got a whole nonprofit side, and a lot of their employees will donate back to the nonprofit, right, so that they can do more good. So it's interesting and how far you want to go with this. There's a lot of possibilities.
A lot of strategies, and some people don't understand all the strategies. That's okay. Because you don't understand them doesn't mean you can't learn about them and work with others who are doing it. Partner with organizations where you see actual results, whether it's the business or the nonprofit side, partner with those kind of organizations. Hype organizations, fly-by-night organizations, maybe just watch them for a while and see if they land on something extremely valuable for their audience, and then partner with them at that point. But any credible organization that's doing some good in the world, why not? There's not a lot of downside to that. It just, spend an hour here, spend a little bit of resources here, and you might get 10 times the results you were expecting. You just never know.
Yeah, there's so many options, right? Maximize your media outreach, right? So use as an opportunity to come up together with your media outlets, your influencers, right? How keeping people engaged, all of that. When you start combining those resources, it's amazing what you can see happen.
Yeah. By the way, there's a phrase that I don't remember where I heard it. Probably my family or something, or a nonprofit I was involved with. What's praised is repeated. It's a good phrase worth putting in the comments, whether you're watching this live or recorded. But what's praised is repeated. Put that in the comments, because that can work both on the nonprofit side and the for-profit side. So specifically, I'm kind of calling out the nonprofits here. If you want more businesses to partner with you, start thanking the businesses that are already partnering with you. Thank them publicly. Thank them through news, emails, and blogs and video snippets about why you're partnering with these certain companies. If you do that, you'll have more businesses come to you and say, "We'd like to participate or be generous in some way. I heard you have an event coming up, or I heard you have a fundraiser coming up," or whatever the case may be, or I heard you have a specific need for a specific group of people. We feel very compelled to help with that particular group of people, whether it's older folks or kids or certain geographical locations or a certain population that's disenfranchised or something like this, or you just believe in the mission, just in general, like families. We want to see families be healthy. Okay, great. Let's find an organization that does that. So there's not a shortage of people trying to do some good in the world. You just got to find them, partner up with them, try to do 10 times you could do if you were just doing it alone. That's not no way to lead an organization. It's just ask for money and do it alone. Like that's not healthy. That's not sustainable. So partnering up is the way.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier about engaging through events, right? And that's a great strategy for increasing visibility for everybody. I know with the Veterans Ranch, they've got a program where, we can take the horse to a business and then they can have an event, invite all of their community, all their clients, all their prospects, right, to come over and get pictures taken with the horse and that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So it can be something as simple as that, or it can be something very elaborate, depending on what you want to do. But when you start talking to them, don't worry so much about what the nonprofit already has set up for events. You can look at that, but you can also propose your own. Hey, well, what do you think about, right? Come up with something that's original between the two organizations, right? Yep. Or multi-organizations.
Yeah, I've seen everything from car shows to family-friendly events to, you just mentioned, some of the like animals and horses and things that kids and families and just love. They just, depending on what your interest is, you might want to Google nonprofits that help with this. And if you as a leader of a business or some kind of organization want to partner with a nonprofit, you can literally Google it, or just search what nonprofits are doing this in my area. And then you start seeing 5, 6, 7 names continually come up. Just reach out to them and let them know, hey, want to learn more about what you're doing. And by the way, nonprofits, when somebody reaches out to you, don't immediately ask them for money. This is similar to a sales professional asking for a sale before you've established a relationship. And so it's the same principles. The only difference really between a nonprofit And a for-profit is you can sell a for-profit, and a nonprofit has a very specific mission to help people in a very specific way, whereas a business can have a little bit more flexibility on that. But they're both adding value. They're both helping their communities and audiences. There's a lot of similarities. So don't get too desperate with the people that reach out to you or are part of your events. Keep it classy, build relationships, and then you'll be sustainable. So yeah, when somebody reaches out, or when you reach out, just ask them what they're up to, what they're already doing. And if it lines up and aligns with your passions and your compassion, then you're probably in a good space, and at least grab a bite to eat or have a quick phone call or something. I've probably had phone calls with maybe 100 nonprofits in the last year, and there's a percentage of them that are pretty exciting, and some of them I've asked for us to donate creatively, and I've said yes, and they've given generous giving receipts, and there's a tax benefit to that in some cases. Other cases there's not. But if you find out from your CPA what a good strategy is on just even that part, and that can be a double blessing. Like it's just keeps going. So.
Yeah, and really what you're talking about this whole time is building those mutual benefits through collaboration, right? It's building those meaningful community relationships. It's with the organizations, the business in the organization, plus the outer community, right? And it's about building relationships. It always is.
I love that some of these social media platforms allow for you to give through their. I've heard of like just all different kinds of crowd funding or crowd donation platforms. There's like 5 or 6 really good ones. I won't name that particular one, but there's also special days that are set aside, Giving Tuesday. There's other days that are set aside as well. So if you're seeing that on social media and you happen to frequent that particular social media platform like Facebook, for example, or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, X or whatever the platform of choice is that you have, TikTok, just play in that space and start looking for nonprofits start following them, connecting with them, and see which ones come up on your feed that are actually doing good work. Like if they start showcasing the results of their work, now that's a nonprofit to partner with because they're going to be active on social. They're going to be producing results. And so there's like an attention meets mission meets results kind of a thing going on there. And if you start seeing those two things happening, take a little initiative. And then if they reply to you in a classy way, then it's probably a good fit.
Absolutely. And it gives them a business opportunity to kind of show that they're committed to social responsibility. And like I mentioned earlier, that's kind of an expectation. It's not, when we look at businesses now, we don't just look at the service they provide, but we look at their heart. We're looking at how they're giving back to the community. We're looking for those kind of partnerships. We're looking for a relationship with the business, not just I bought it and I left, right? So kind of keep that in mind as a business, that this is a great opportunity to show basically the world that you care.
I was just thinking, Christine, as we were talking, I'm thinking, the most successful nonprofits that I know of partner with businesses. And the businesses I want to work with partner with nonprofits. So if for no other reason, just for sustainability and positive brand association, if for no other reason.
That's exactly what the next slide talks about: sustainability, long-term community impact.
Yeah,
it's exactly it, right? And so we have that opportunity to do good in the world. So let's do it.
Yeah, the idea of starting a nonprofit, and I'm just going to do it with my friends and family, and there's going to be no strategy built around it, or we're just going to help one person at a time. That works for about 6 months. And then after that, maybe a little less, a little more. But after that, you got to start partnering up with others who have muscle to bring to the table And they have an incentive to do that. I mean, if you're a registered nonprofit in the United States, for example, um, there's vehicles laying around, there's resources laying around that they're worth way more as a donation than they are anything else. Like let's just take what's actually already in our community. Let's just work with that. So I love this. We should do this more often, Christine. This is a really fun conversation. I like
It
it.
really is, right? Something dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
Let's hit on a couple of effective marketing strategies for collaboration. Let's kind of
Okay.
get those brainstorms going. So, if you've been thinking about doing it, what can you do, right? And this is beneficial for both the nonprofit and the businesses. Like, how do I even get started, right? So, co-branding is a big part of it, right? Showcasing both sides, right? And learning how to do things together. And if you haven't co-branded an event before, it's kind of a novelty. Nobody gets to take top billing. The idea is it should benefit both people, right? So, having your logo on it, their logo on it, everybody's got a logo on it. So co-brand
Yep.
whatever it is that you're doing together.
Yep.
Borrow that from each other, right? You can do some innovative campaign development, right, for the shared values. So
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier about pulling those resources together, and really, what a great way to support one another, right? Maybe you've got maybe they've got the influencers, and maybe you've got the funding that you can put behind that event, right? And they can help draw in the people for you, right? So if you can figure out a way to put some campaigns together where you're sharing those resources, right? Whether it's like you mentioned, video, or whether it's photo shoots, or it's an event, right? Put stuff together where you can share those resources.
Yep. Get
And
those in action photographs and videos of people actually in progress, like before, during, after. Like record this as you're playing together in the community and with with those who are involved. And that content that we all talk about so often in the marketing communication media space is so valuable, not only for a quick social media post, but you can put those on your website, special pages, all different things that Christine and others love to build for these organizations. And the more of those pictures and videos you have of in action, working together with people in the community, with businesses, with organizations, and then you start sharing each other's posts, it's game on. I mean, there's a lot of love happening right there. Like that's a lot of good mojo. Like that's a lot of momentum. And if you're the best kept secret in your region, your town, or your space, this is a strategy. Like this is an actual legitimate strategy.
Absolutely. And really, when you think about hosting an event, the opportunity, like you said, for collecting videos and photos and testimonials and interacting with the community, that'll give you enough content to use for your marketing for a long time.
Yep.
Right. So
I
even if you wanted to do a quarterly event, or twice a year, once a year, whatever it is, why not put a system in place so that you can build the momentum and have people look forward to doing it again?
Yes, I like that idea of certain times of the year. Just this is what we're focused on this month. Like this is what we're doing, and everybody just knows that we're going to do this next year probably too. So let's just really go all in. There's an event that I was invited to participate in with 30,000 people showing up, and they're like, "Can we put your banner up with your logo and co-brand it with some other sponsors?" And I was like, "Yeah, just don't make it too big. Like I just want it nice and subtle, super classy, like part of like don't disrupt the actual event, like just have it like right there." So there's a little clue whether you're on a website or a physical banner or anything like this for an event or some kind of collaboration. Yes, you want your logo. Yes, you want your contact information, but keep it super like classy and small because people who tend to exaggerate their logo are usually either new in business or they're just desperate for business. And so we don't really want that my logo is the biggest deal on the planet. oh, and by the way, we're partnering with this organization over here. No, 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 no. We want the actual event or activity to be highlighted first, and then the co-branding to be kind of a subtle, like almost like a footnote, or just subtle at the top, in a small way, like you would see on a good presentation, right, Christine? You don't have the logo taking up half the picture. You have logos in the upper corners, like just kind of like chilling right there, right? Like just classy. Like it's definitely there. It's definitely readable. It's very clear, but you have a lot of co-branding, like protocols or best practices are really to keep it uh, non-distracting, but definitely present.
Absolutely. You want to be present, but at the same time, you like you said, it's not all about the business. You really want to put the emphasis on the nonprofit, what's going on, the values that are going on with it. So yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting when we look at our choices and where we want to put our energy in our marketing. And it's worth putting it into a co-sponsored event or something where you're working with another organization. You're going to spend that money on marketing anyway. So you might as well put it into a good use, right?
Yep. I love that concept of you're going to spend it anyway. So try to get the largest, impact you can. And quite frankly, business is boring without some kind of social impact anyway. Like it's just boring. So if it's just about making money, like just shut this off. This is not for you. But if you love to make an impact with your business or with your nonprofit, gosh, now's the time to start. Put 5% of your time, talent, treasure, technology, and some of the things you have laying around the office, and put them to use. Like help a nonprofit get started. Like you said earlier, Christine, as long as they have a good mission, good leadership team, you should be able to help them kind of incubate and just go ahead and just launch. And then now you're kind of like associated with everything they're doing. And as long as they're going a good direction, you can stay associated with them. And quite frankly, whether your logo is on everything or not, like it should be on some things. Don't get me wrong. Like you do want to co-brand, but your name as associated with your company, like Christine Deane, that name recognition alone being associated with the Veterans Ranch and this and the Dallas Fort Worth area, like all the veterans in that area and the Chamber of Commerce and Veterans Chamber, like all the different things that Christine's involved with. It's not necessarily just her company name that is popped on some certain pages. That's important. That's a good thing. But even more important in some cases is the fact they actually put the face with the name, then with the company. And so as long as there's representatives or ambassadors kind of being a liaison between, it could be you as the founder, it could be somebody on your team. If there's a liaison kind of expectation, like you're going to be going back and forth, reporting back and forth, like what's happening with the nonprofit we're supporting and what's going on. And they also share with you, what's going on with the business, and then you bring that over to the nonprofit. This is what's going on. Do you guys want to partner on something like this? We have some leftover materials. Do you want to put it to use? Do you want to build a house? What do you want to do with it? And so it becomes this fun way of being extremely resourceful, but intentional at the same time. So I love where this is going, Christine. This is a great conversation.
It is. There's so much potential, right? When you think about the opportunities out there. And one of the ways also to get involved is to do the employee engagement, right? Through volunteer programs. I've seen organizations where they give a day, a quarter, right? Where they can get paid, an employee can get paid for volunteering with a nonprofit for the day.
Love it. Yeah. And every sometimes we overcomplicate these things. Like, look, we'll just give you a chance to win this thing if you go and volunteer at least once a month at this organization, and incentivize your own employees or yourself, even for that matter, to go ahead and just get into the game and just have some fun, get your feet wet, and see if it sparks something in you. And that's how these board members and extreme like volunteer type folks end up starting in the game, and then when they retire, like, oh my goodness, like they're pulling so much weight and So I think you're onto something here, Christine. Just kind of boost it. Also, like it says, boosting employee morale here. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're feeling like there's a kind of a like a lull or a flat emotional component to your team, get them out of the office and start going helping something. Like go do something, at least just like for an hour, even. Like just get them out of the office and go see what's going on in the community that has really maybe not direct impact on your business, but maybe associated with it in some way, and just show how people are contributing above and beyond what's expected. And that generates like a almost like a dopamine boost. Like it's like an encouragement. And there is studies around generosity and how it affects our bodies, our minds, and our like if you're they say one of the best ways to really get yourself out of an emotional funk is to just go bless somebody, just go help somebody,
Mm-hmm.
just go find a way to help it. Like it could start with your neighbor and then you partner with a nonprofit and surprise them or something. Like it doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar venture. It could be a 15-minute conversation. Like it doesn't really have to be too crazy. So there's an encouragement definitely to get started.
Absolutely. It does. It changes your whole view when you can give back, right? There's a couple of tips for successful nonprofit partnerships that I just want to hit real quick as we wrap things up here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Make sure that you're aligning the values and goals for mutual success. You have a shared vision, right? And that's really important, who you choose to partner with. Right. And I know with the organizations that I've worked with, we're always very careful. Is that somebody that we want to be associated with or not? Right. Does the nonprofit fit your brand, and does the business fit the nonprofit's brand? Right. You've got to have an alignment there in values. If there's not, there's a disconnect, right? And it's not going to appeal to the audiences. You can't do a shared audience when you're not sharing the same values and goals. Right. So keep that in mind.
Well said.
Right. Aligning the values also has to do with like strategic goal setting. What are your goals? What are you trying to get out of this? So everybody has to kind of know what that is and be in alignment, because otherwise you're going to run into a lot of problems with communication, right? And reaching those goals, right? So
Sometimes
you're going to
partnering with a nonprofit can help a business find their emotional juice and their soul again. And sometimes a nonprofit partnering with a business can help them find their key performance indicators, their metrics, their goals, their strategies, just by being in the same room together. Like you don't even have to like create a full-on workshop. Like you can, but you don't have to start there. Just being in the room together and hearing the teams talking together and helping each other, or organizing one micro event can be a real big boost for both. And it's almost like when you see really good friends play sports or something together, they have a way of complementing each other, and you're like, whoa, how did they even know what to do? It's because they were kind of using their own strengths to create something better than they could alone.
Absolutely. When you're trying to work on a partnership together, really, communication is a huge part of it. Keeping each other updated about what's going on, what the expectations are. It's really important, because you can get frustrated on either side, right? And each organization is kind of used to doing things their own way. So anytime you do a collaboration, we need to be extra clear with our communication, probably more than you think you need, just to make sure everybody stays on the same page and knows that it's still happening, and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Clarity is huge. When you have misunderstandings, you get frustrated, right? And it really messes everything up for an event. So clarity, communicate, make sure that you're aware of the differences and how, because each business, each organization has its own culture. So you got to make sure that you're blending those well together. A lot of times my way or the highway doesn't work well for collaborations.
Yep. As we wrap up today, I just really want to encourage a call to action for our audience, and encourage us to reach out to an organization, If you're a nonprofit, reach out to a business. If you're a business, reach out to a nonprofit today. Say, hey, it's a special day in my heart. I'm reaching out to you. Like, let's see what we can do together this next 30 days. Like, what does that look like? If you're not sure of who to partner with, Christine, Deane, myself, and several other members of our network have interviewed and vetted hundreds of nonprofits.
Mhm.
We also have extreme access to generous businesses as well. So no matter what side of the kind of awesome partnership you're on, please reach out to Christine, Deane, find her on social media, reach out to me, ping me, and it might take me a little while to get back to you, but at least reach out to Christine, myself as well, and one of us will get back to you very quickly. This is her contact information here. You can scan that, take a picture of that right now, screenshot that. Whatever gets you, go to the networkingdiva.com/book, and you'll be able to connect with her and make sure that conversation can start no matter what part of the world you're in. Literally, if you're another part of the world, we play a lot in the United States, but we have connections in Canada and Europe and Africa, and like we have all sorts of opportunities that are directly or indirectly related to the Giver Marketing Network and the Networking Diva and all the other connections that we have. So really appreciate you, Christine, putting this together, putting this top of the priority list today and making sure that we can talk about this a little bit. So reach out to her, find her on social and say, hey, I saw you on this Giver broadcast. Like, how do I become more of a giver? Like what, or how do I partner with others that are in alignment with what I'm doing? Do you know anybody who does this? And just mention that, and she'll know. She's been doing this for decades in one way, shape, or form, just helping folks. So yes.
One of my favorite playgrounds to play in. So, got people saying Happy Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
it seems like every Tuesday could be Giving Tuesday if we make it, if we get our momentum going. So I really appreciate the timing on this, Christine. So good job. God bless you guys. Have an awesome week. Reach out to Christine, and while you're at it, why don't you register for our Wednesday networking? Just come. Christine Deane has a chance to lead that as well. And so if you go to givermarketing.com/networking, especially if you're a marketing, communication, media professional, or if you're in a seat that includes marketing, communication, media on a nonprofit or with a business, doesn't matter what kind of entity, as long as you eat, sleep, and breathe that communication, media, PR, marketing, like getting the word out about causes and companies doing good in the world. Like that's who we want at this givermarketing.com/networking weekly event. With the exception of some holidays, we definitely meet every Wednesday. So go ahead and register once. It'll show up on your calendar, easy peasy, and you'll be able to, at the very least, connect with some pretty awesome people. All right. God bless you guys. Christine, that was fun. Super fun.